Hello, all of you out there in internet land. I'm Jamie Lee, and we have a very special guest with us today. This interview will be on my YouTube page and the 25YL website. This interview is part of my continuing Coyote vs. Acme coverage. In the upcoming film Coyote vs. Acme, Wile E. Coyote from the Looney Tunes finally gets tired of decades of faulty Acme products and sues the Acme Corporation. You can see it in theaters worldwide on August 28th, 2026. And I know I'll be there. Today we're joined by an actor from Coyote vs. Acme, Steven Ray Byrd. It's so great to talk to you.
Hello, hello. How are you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of
So,
course.
people who have followed the production of Coyote vs. Acme know who you are, but for those who don't, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
Of course. So I'm Steven Ray Byrd. I live in Roswell, New Mexico, but Coyote versus Acme was filmed in Albuquerque. For those that don't know, there's kind
Perfect.
of a tie in there if you get what I'm saying.
Just don't
Yeah,
take a
so
wrong turn.
so I've been acting for a while, and if you don't know who I am, I actually started a petition when Coyote versus Acme was shelved, and I worked on the film for probably about 14 days or so. I was one of the Acme legal team members. And there was a story on why I did this, why I joined the film, which I'll get into right now. So I uh, I don't do a lot of background work anymore because my agent, don't do too much background or whatever. But I saw that this film was coming to New Mexico, and it had John Cena in it. And I'm going to get deep here, but I had just lost my son. I think it was 4 months before, and my son was a big, big John Cena fan, and my mom was a big John Cena fan. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to get on this. And I asked my agent. I said, hey, can I submit? They're looking for featured, which I end up being very featured in this, but they're looking for featured, people to be on John Cena's legal team. I said, and she said, yeah, sure, go ahead. It's a movie. Go ahead. So I did it, and I ended up on the film. Like worked with John Cena almost 2 weeks, and the cast, the crew, the director, everybody was amazing. So this movie, it meant a lot to me personally, and then also the New Mexico film crew. I'm friends with a lot of them, and for it to get shelved, it hurt me, but it hurt them, it hurt the fans. So I became really involved with this film. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you just answered some of my next questions. So, what was the casting process like when you were going through that?
So this one, we have different casting companies here, and they were looking for specific fits for the Acme legal team, and it did say it was going to be featured. So they're looking for different types, and you had to submit your photo, demo reel, things like that. And I submitted myself in one of my headshots with my suit on, and I got called and I got booked for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome! I was so pumped, you know. And I
That's
and I
awesome.
oh, and, sorry, that's my thing right there. So I was like, there were only I think 5 people that they were casting for this. So I was like, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I did get the call, and I was super pumped.
That's fantastic. So, for those who don't know, John Cena plays Buddy Crane in the film, and he is one of Acme's lawyers,
Correct.
which is
The
just
lawyer.
hilarious. The lawyer, yes.
Hmm.
So, you mentioned being a fan of John Cena. Were you also a fan of the Looney Tunes before this?
I've been a Looney Tunes fan forever. I mean, I'm 46 years old. Growing up, Looney Tunes was the thing, especially Wile Coyote and Roadrunner, always wanting him to actually catch the Roadrunner. I always thought it was going to happen every episode. It never did. But always been a big fan of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. The whole Looney Tunes lore has always been awesome. And the fact that I got to work on a film, this was the first time I ever worked on a film opposite of a cartoon. So that was really cool.
Yeah, so you did get to have scenes where you were interacting or reacting off of the animated characters. How was that filming that?
Oh, it was really cool. So the puppeteer, he was a puppeteer for Star Wars. I believe Yoda, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he was. I know he was a major. puppeteer for that, and he had a they had a Wile E. Coyote puppet that we reacted off of. So it wasn't like we were looking at nothing. We were reacting off of the puppet, which made it a lot easier. For my first time ever acting off of a cartoon, that helped out a lot. But it was really cool. It was kind of weird, but really cool.
That's great. So, because it was Wile E. Coyote you were interacting with, I'm guessing he didn't talk, so you weren't working with any of the characters that did have dialogue, the animated ones.
Yeah, yeah. No, the I think Wile E. Coyote was one of them. Then Foghorn Leghorn, there was kind of reactions from all of us. Not to give away too much of the film, but in another scene, we do react to Foghorn Leghorn. Yeah, and
So did they have the
he actually talks, you know.
Yeah, so did they have the voiceover for that, or was it a
It was really
temporary
cool.
track?
Yeah, so they had a guy who was wearing kind of a costume thing, and it represented how tall, because Foghorn Leghorn is a big person or big chicken, whatever. Rooster.
It's a big old
Um,
rooster.
yeah, big old rooster, and we were reacting off of him, and he did a awesome impression of Foghorn Leghorn. So that made it even easier. So he was sounding like him, he was delivering the lines, and we were able to react off of his lines, which was awesome. It made it so much easier, but it was really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you were talking about not giving away the plot. How much did you find out, or did they allow you to find out about the plot while you were on set?
I mean, I was able to see everything. Yeah, I knew the pretty much the whole plot there while I was
It
there.
wasn't
Just
a
even
super
talking to,
secret.
yeah, it wasn't because they kind of fill us in on what's going on, you know. And I was in multiple scenes, and they tell us what's going on, and then even talking to PJ and other actors. PJ Byrne is in it as well, and we kind of got an idea. Okay, so this is all what's happening. Oh, these are the scenes, and then even since then, of course I found out everything. Yeah.
Yes. PJ Byrne also plays an Acme lawyer in the film. And
Hmm.
if you saw the video of the Comic-Con panel, for those who didn't, he showed up and threatened to
It
sue
was
everybody
great.
in the audience.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I loved how he did that. It was so cool.
Yes. So getting into that, Coyote versus Acme has a reputation as the film Acme doesn't want you to see. When Acme first decided that, you got involved really quickly. How did you hear about it and get started on your journey with that?
You know what? So I was on vacation. So I remember originally it was supposed to release July 21st. And I don't know if I can say the movie that was released in its place. Am I allowed to? I don't,
I think people can look it up.
yeah. So July 21st, it was supposed to be released, but then they took it out of that slot. And I was like, wait, what? When is this movie ever coming out? And I was on vacation, and I got a message from a friend, and I was like, what? Wait, this can't be real. And it said that it was shelved. And I was like, no, no. And I'm going to be honest with you. I cried. I actually cried because this film, it had a lot of personal meaning. And then it was the first time since my son had passed away that I was able to be in an environment where I felt happy, like everybody, the cast and crew, the director, which I'll get more into about Dave later. I mean, absolutely amazing. It meant a lot. And then seeing everybody's work just gone and me thinking about that, it hurt. So I said, what can I do? What can I do? I know I'm not a major player in this film, but I got to do something. So I just started a petition, to release Coyote versus Acme. I started one. And I have a big following on TikTok, also huge following. I have almost 600,000 followers on TikTok. And I was like, you know what? I gotta push this out. I gotta do something. I gotta say something. So I wrote a long petition, a story about why it should be saved, how we worked really hard, and it 10,000 signatures really, really fast, really, really fast. And then it started getting out there. And I don't know if you remember, but they reversed the decision at one point. Like it wasn't too long later. It was pretty quick. They're like, okay, well, maybe we'll,
Yeah, I
we'll
think it was like
see
a
if we can.
weekend and then
Yeah. Hmm. Yep.
just
So they
getting
were gonna they were gonna try to sell it, And I was like, whew, okay. And I felt pretty confident at that point. I was like, all right, can enjoy the rest of my vacation. Somebody's going to buy this movie, you know? And as you know, it just month after month after month, nothing was happening. And then it said it was officially canceled. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I started, and most of my stuff I did on X because I wasn't even a big X user, but it was a good platform for me to, get it out there. So I did most of my push on there, but when it was canceled the second time for good, I didn't stop. I was like, guys, let's do this. Let's talk about it. Let's keep talking about it. Let's do this. So I fought really, really hard for this, but it wasn't just me. It was million, like so many people, so many fans, thousands and thousands of fans of Looney Tunes, even fans of just film fought for this, and it meant a lot, you know?
Yeah, I actually had not heard about the movie until I heard that it had been initially shelved. And when I just read the basic log line, I thought that just sounds hilarious. I'm also a
Hmm.
big Looney Tunes fan. I know the release Coyote versus Acme hashtag went viral for a pretty sustained amount of time.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are some of your favorite stories from that time? Because a lot happened on your Twitter account at that time. So, before Ketchup Entertainment purchased the rights to the film, what are some of your favorite stories of that journey?
The whole journey. Well, just I made a lot of friends through all this too, and a lot of people, even from the film, were in touch with me. Eric Bauza, he is the voice of many characters, and me and him are buds now, and it's really cool because he was one that stood up. He fought. He said, I don't know if you remember when he got the award, and he said, "Release Coyote versus Acme." Like that's huge. I mean, he's a big time actor, and
Yes, at the Annie
he's like,
Awards, he
"Hey."
did that.
hmm Yeah, and he fought for it, and I was like, man, that's beautiful. Like, that's awesome. Will Forte, same thing. He said something about it, and then not only just the stars, but it was amazing how many people were like, wait, what? Like, let's release this. I loved all the animations. People were doing their own animations of
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote. I love that. It was just like it was bringing Looney Tunes back, and it was so cool to see like everybody, even from different backgrounds, different political beliefs. It didn't matter. Everybody was coming together and trying to fight to get this movie released because it meant a lot to a lot of people. And in this day and age, that's really cool to see.
Yes, and when Eric Bauza said that at the Annie Awards, he said it as Daffy Duck, and I know
Yeah.
somebody animated
hmm
Daffy Duck yelling it
Yeah.
out.
And made the cartoon. That was so awesome. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that just showed the passion for this film. It was pretty big. And
Yes,
and that,
and
that made me really happy. I was like, this is amazing. Like the support this movie is getting.
yes, and so many talented people involved. We've been talking about John Cena, Will Forte, you mentioned he plays Kevin Avery,
Hmm
reference to Tex Avery from the Looney Tunes
Yeah.
history. And so he plays Wile E. Coyote's lawyer. We have Dave Green, the director, Eric Bauza, the voice of a ton of Looney Tunes. James Gunn was involved, and the writer was also Oscar nominated, Sandy
Yes.
Birch.
hmm
And of course, just so many other people. We can't list them all. Watch the credits
Yeah.
of the movie. It'll have
Yeah.
them all on there.
Yeah. It was star-studded, and
Hmm.
the thing that got me too is they already did a screening, for the audience test, and it got
Yeah, where they
great.
score it.
Yeah, and it had great reviews. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like, what? This is a good movie. What are we doing here? That was my thought at the time. Like, well, but then even in general, I had this thought of good or bad. Let the audience decide. That's a big thing with me in film. Like, let the audience decide the success of a film. So it's been a journey. I'll tell you that.
Since we're talking about favorite stories, do you have favorite stories from when you were filming it?
There's a few. I'll tell you. PJ is hilarious. PJ is awesome on set. Every day he was making me laugh, and there was a scene in the courtroom, and once again, not giving away too much, but where he had to push us out the way, and he's like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to push you. And, are you okay with that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay. You can push me." And just like he was goofing around and just even off, like when we weren't filming, John Cena, hilarious. PJ Byrne, hilarious. Like there was so much laughs. You know what I mean? I told you it made me laugh a lot. It made me feel good while I was there. Off camera, these guys are hilarious too. So it was really cool to see them interact with each other. Luis Guzman,
Yes,
from Wednesday
currently
and
he's
all.
playing Gomez on the Wednesday show on Netflix.
Yeah,
Seen him in a bunch of other things too.
he was hilarious also. Just so many awesome stories. And then the fact that, I mean, they were talking left and right to me. Oh, I do actually, I got a really good story for you about John Cena. This is really cool. So, there was a extra that was sneaking a photo of John Cena, right? She was
You're
doing
not
this.
supposed to do that.
Yeah, you don't do that. John Cena caught, he looked, and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He got up. He's like, "Hold on, guys." And he went up to her and he said, "Pull out your phone. Let me see."
Oh no.
Yeah. And she looked terrified. And she's like, and he's like, "Delete that right now." And she's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Come with me." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh
And he goes
no.
over to a wall and he's like, "Let's take a selfie together." And he takes a selfie with her. He's like, "Just ask me. You've been with me every day. If you want to take a photo, ask me, but don't sneak, photos during filming. Come on." And everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, he's about to go off." No, he didn't go off. He he took her over to the wall and took a selfie with her, and she's like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah, but that kind of tells you like how he was. It was. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" But then he just took a selfie with her. But that was a really cool moment, I thought. Maybe not for her. She was terrified.
John Cena, benevolent film security.
Yeah.
In
He's
case the
really
acting and WWE thing don't work out, he could be your
right.
benevolent security guard. But I think
And
he's
the
doing
fact that
okay.
the fact that he caught her too, like he's very observant. He's like, "What? Nope, nope, nope." I was like, and the funny thing was she was sitting close to me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Wait, did I do something?" I thought maybe I did something. And then another awesome story. I told you it meant a lot to me, right? So there's a specific scene where Dave, he's like, "I need somebody to sit with John Cena," right? I don't know if you've seen my photo with me and John
Yes.
Cena.
Hmm.
He's like, I need somebody to sit with John Cena and hand him. Sorry, let me move this real quick. It's Five Nights. There we go. So he says, I need somebody. So there's five of us there, and he points at me. He's like, "Yeah, you. I want you to be with John Cena." And at that moment, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like it just felt amazing because this movie meant a lot to me, and the fact that I'm actually interacting with him in this scene, and you know what I mean. It just meant so much to me. So that was really cool too. It was like I wasn't expecting that. That was pretty awesome.
That's fantastic. And what you were saying about PJ telling you that he was going to push you, it sounds like maybe there was some improvisation going on a little bit too,
Oh yeah,
which is
there's some improv in this for sure. Yeah.
that is so cool, especially the film mixes animation and live action, much like Looney Tunes Back in Action did, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, tons
Mhm.
of movies, and it blends it with animation that is styled to look like 2D animation. And I know some of the smaller characters are actually 2D animated.
Yep.
So you would think there wouldn't be a lot of room for improv, but that is so cool to know that there was room for that.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah, and you see a lot of the improv. And I'm trying to say this without giving away anything, but between the human characters too, you see a lot of the improv, especially the court scenes. Like it's hilarious. Will Forte and John Cena together, amazing. I don't know if you were able to see the trailer. Did you see the trailer?
no,
You
I
didn't see
didn't
the
get to go
trailer.
to the panel,
Oh, okay. Well,
but
yeah, when it's released, yeah, it's a beautiful trailer.
yes.
Stephen Price is he did the composer on this, and his music, everything's amazing with it. So
Yes, he released this wonderful clip that immediately got,
it
yes,
was that one,
but it
yeah.
was a choir singing to this classical
Mhm.
orchestral piece, and the choir was just singing meep,
Meet
meep,
me.
meep to the tune. And
Yeah.
that's so great and classic Looney Tunes. So many of their gags have always been tied to music and that kind
Hmm.
of timing. So that is
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm very excited to see and hear it. Speaking of the Comic-Con panel, do you have fun behind the scenes stories about that panel?
Oh, that panel was awesome. So you seen the video of it then, I'm sure. The whole PJ entrance was hilarious. The crowd was cracking up, and that was in the biggest hall, by the way. So
Yes,
that
Hall
that's the
H.
hall, yes. And the audience reaction to the trailer was amazing. Like that's really good news, you know. A lot of people were pumped about it. They're like, "This looks amazing." And then just listening to Dave and PJ, everybody on that panel, and I actually got to go talk with them. Dave, so I've been talking to Dave. I talk to Dave a lot. Dave reached out to me, and we talk quite a bit about Coyote versus Acme. He wants me to help promote the film and do more, and it's amazing. He's so appreciative. He made me feel. I was like, wow. I mean, I started a petition. I don't think I'm that big of a deal. Like I was being humble. But he brought me backstage to there's this green room. It's called the green room. So I was able to go there and I got to talk with him for a while and he was introducing me to people and I got an autographed poster. It's right here, which I got to put in a frame. Did you see the poster? The
Yes,
autograph poster?
you generously sent me a picture of the poster that we put up on
Yeah, that's right.
25YL.
That's right. Yeah, so you know about the poster and then the autographed Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner
Oh,
Funkos also. I
that's
did that.
fantastic.
But I got to talk with them and it was amazing. So all of them. And PJ was hitting on me. He was being a goofball, but I was with my girlfriend and he's like, "This is your boyfriend? This is your boyfriend? I love this guy. I love this guy." He remembered like, we acted together. I mean, we were there for few weeks. So, he remembered me, but he knew what I was doing. And then Candy Milo, if you're not sure, do you know who she is? A amazing voice actor. She
Yes,
told
Candy
me,
Milo does voices in this movie, and for anyone who has seen The Day the Earth Blew Up, she
yes,
is Petunia Pig in The Day the Earth Blew Up,
an
which I
amazing movie,
recommend.
amazing movie. And she was like almost in tears. She told me, she's like, "You don't understand what you did." She said, "This is I'm getting towards the end of doing all of this and everything counts right now and this matters and what you did and what so many people did is so important, fighting for this film." And she gave me a hug and Will Forte, he's like, "Really appreciate what you did, man." And it's just awesome. It was an unreal experience. I didn't expect, you know, I just wanted to get on the film and kind of make myself feel better about everything that was going on. And it ended up being one of the biggest experiences of my life. You know, that Comic-Con thing, Dave invited me to it. It was in San Diego, so I live in Roswell, and it was kind of last minute, and I was like, "Oh man, do I go?" Like, but they gave me a special pass to get back there. And then they gave me two images from the film to release before anybody else did. So I released them on X and they gave me the access to those. And I was like, man, this is so amazing. Like I never expected any of this. And like I said, I was one voice of many voices. Everybody, like so many people stepped up and it worked.
Yeah,
It worked.
it definitely
So
shows the love of film. It definitely shows the love of the Looney Tunes. And besides, obviously, you and the other people we've mentioned directly involved in the film, I definitely know at least one person who may have tweeted a couple of times about it. At least one person.
who was it?
I don't know, name escapes me.
And every tweet mattered though, like for real. Yeah. Just the amount. Seriously, on X, the amount of retweets was amazing to me. And like you said before, it was trending for a long time. It was trending for a long time. I know some of my posts alone were getting millions. It was just crazy. But it shows how many people were involved. And the funny thing is, a lot of people didn't even know that, like you said, people didn't even know about this movie. They were like, wait, they did a hybrid movie with John Cena. Wait, what? What? People didn't even know about it. And then they heard about it. They're like, wait, I gotta see that. That's amazing. So that was pretty crazy that people didn't even get to know about this movie.
Right. And I definitely would have been there day one to see it once they started advertising it. I'm such a huge Looney Tunes fan, as people will know if they saw my Day the Earth Blew Up review or if they just know me in person. It just sounds so cool. I also love Will Forte, so hearing that he was in it was very exciting.
Yeah.
So we have talked about this Comic-Con panel. There is a video of it, but it does cut off because at the very end they showed the first trailer. So they cut off the video before the trailer got shown. Do you have any idea when the rest of us who weren't there will get to see that trailer?
Yeah, so actually they showed, I think, 10 minutes of the film. Was it 10 minutes? I think it was like close to 10 minutes of the film also. And then they showed the trailer. And the trailer, it because the movie is not going to be released until August 28th of next year. Uh, the trailer will be soon enough, though. They're going to do it to where it's plenty of time. You know what I mean. From what I believe too, there was already a trailer for this movie the first time, and I think it had got leaked at one point on X or something like that. But uh, yeah, I can't give any dates or anything like that, but it'll be, soon enough. I would look in the future, not too far.
Great. Yes, I think I remember reading that one of the screenshots that was getting shared when the movie was initially canceled may have come from that trailer that was
Mhm.
already made.
Yeah. And I'll say, I can say like the trailer, it it gives it gives a really cool vibe, if I can say that. Like when you watch it, you're like, okay, this isn't just a silly, goofy Looney Tunes movie. This is kind of like not only funny, but it's kind of deep too. The movie has emotional touches, I promise you. Yeah. So, and you can see even the trailer alone with the sound, the music, everything. The trailer is beautiful, and you're gonna love it. I promise.
That's wonderful. So, what do you want people to know about Coyote versus Acme, especially if it's something that we haven't talked about yet?
Um, I mean, the movie itself, like I said, I don't know the age ranges of people who watch, but Who Framed Roger Rabbit is an all-time classic animation, human hybrid movie, right? And this movie itself, I mean, Sammy Birch is an amazing writer. Like you said,
Oscar
nominated for an
nominated.
Oscar. It's not like this movie isn't just like, oh, okay, whatever, let's put a little movie together. It has crazy talent on this film. And the movie's not just even from the scenes that I was in alone and saw, it's not only funny, but like there's some deep, you're like, oh man, I have to wipe a little tear away. Like there's some moments in this movie. So if you're a fan of Looney Tunes, I mean, obviously this movie has so many cameos. I can't tell all the cameos, but it has some major players in this, the cameos in it, which is awesome. And
Oh, yes.
and like I said, John Cena and Will Forte, they're acting against each other is it's just freaking hilarious. So I'd say the movie itself, if you're a fan of Looney Tunes and you like cameos, there's so many cool cameos in this film. And I think the animation, there's a lot of photos out there and stuff. I think it's beautiful. I love that they did old school, like they did the 2D animation, and I think it looks awesome.
Yes. Yeah, there are so many Looney Tunes in the movie. Of course, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. We did hear from the panel that there may be a certain bunny in there.
Possibly.
And
Yeah.
I've also heard that my favorite is in there too.
I would say, who's your favorite? I
Oh,
can't see because
this
it's
is this is Daffy Duck.
oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
this sweatshirt just has Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, and it also has an anvil that says Acme on it.
That's really
So it's
cool.
absolutely perfect, and it's also my favorite color, orange, but I had to represent
I love it.
my favorite, Daffy Duck.
Yeah, it has very notable, and then not even just like the most popular ones. There'll be people that see cameos are like, oh wow, I haven't seen this person or this character in a while. Like really cool.
Right, there was one that I talked about in my article. I don't think he's a cameo. I think he's a little bigger, but there is this mad scientist character. And
Yes.
as a fan of both horror and Looney Tunes,
Hmm.
hearing that this mad scientist is in the movie as a pretty big role, the
I,
Venn diagram of those two things is a circle and it's me. I'm very excited for that.
that's awesome. Yeah, you'll be happy. That's amazing. Yeah, that's one of the popular, I mean, I think that's one of those characters that not everybody is super familiar with, but the ones
Mhm.
that are, they know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
even when I talk about the actor who inspired that character, Peter Lorre, people say, I don't know who that is. And I say, you've heard him or you've heard
You
someone imitate him.
yeah, you do
You do
know.
know
You just
him.
don't, yeah,
You just
you
don't know
think
you
you know.
know. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
that's really exciting. Like I said, the cameo's definitely going to please a lot of Looney Tune fans. Promise you.
that's fantastic. And as you mentioned, Candy Milo is also in the film,
Hmm.
which is great. So, is there anything we haven't covered that you want to talk about, or something that you just wish someone would ask you about this movie or this whole process, this whole journey, this saga this film has been on?
Yeah, so my thing now is, our voices were heard, right? The movie has been purchased. It is going to be released. There's an official poster, official release date now. We're going to see this worldwide, by the way. It's not just here, it's going to be worldwide release. And but just because it's being released, it doesn't mean we're done, if that makes sense. We have a whole year because I did get a lot of people were like, why are they waiting until August? The movie's already done, right? Why are they waiting a whole year to release this film? And I explained it this way, that we got a lot of free publicity from this movie already, with all the talk about it, all the hashtags. There's a lot of people that are going to go see it already. But then there's a lot of people who still have no idea about this movie. Like there's still people out there that don't know. And, we fought really hard, but make the movie successful, you got to go see it. You got to go see the movie. And we have a year. They gave us basically my thing is I think it's more they gave us a year to really promote this movie, talk about it more, not just push it out real quick. Hey, we talked about it. Yeah, that's great for all the people that were involved in this campaign. But then what about the rest? We still have a lot of people out there that need to know about this film. So you do that by advertising the trailer, things like that are going to bring in a lot of, a lot more audience. So I think it's super important that we continue to push, and I'm going to. I've already talked to Dave, and as the movie gets closer and closer next year, you're going to see a lot more promoting the movie, trailers, things like that. You're going to see that, but we just don't stop now because it's getting released. Yeah, that's a great thing. That's a great victory for film in general. I always have believed that completed films should be seen, people's work should be seen, and then this is something that I think there's a big audience for, and we need more family films too. I personally think like we need more movies like this. And even if you're not really big on Looney Tunes, I still think there's a lot of John Cena fans out there. We know that.
Mhm.
There's a ton of John Cena fans. His acting in this is great. It's a great performance, and then introducing even the younger generation to Looney Tunes. This is a great way to do it because I think when people watch this, they'll be like, "Wait, who is that?" oh my gosh, I want to see this. I want to, I want to know more about this character and this character. And, like I said, with all the cameos and everything, it's super important that we push and promote and every voice matters and share and get our butts in the theaters and actually watch it, I think is super important.
That is a really fun experience. I've definitely had that happen to me before where I see something and I wondered if there was more about it. So I would look up information about that specific thing I saw and then see there's this whole history of it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I start watching that.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's, like I said, a great way to introduce the Looney Tunes to a whole new generation and satisfy all the Looney Tunes fans that are already, out there. So my big thing, like I said, is I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be promoting the crap out of this film. Like I will be promoting until the very end. I want to talk to more people. I appreciate that you are, talking to me, letting me get my voice out there and say these things because it matters, you know.
Yes, definitely. I covered the Comic-Con panel. I'm excited to do a trailer breakdown when that comes out.
You're gonna
And
love
I'm
it.
excited to interview some people from the
Hmm.
film. I'm very, very excited about this. And this is just going to be so cool that's coming out. And yes, it's a year, but like you said, marketing, merchandising, all those things to get the word out
Hmm.
and to get more people excited. So since they did Comic-Con this year, do you know if there are plans to do another panel next year when it'll be about a month, give or take, from the release of the film?
Yeah, I haven't heard that they're gonna do it again. Um, I think I think because it is, the production company that bought it, I think they're being very strategic in how they market, if that makes sense. So I think
Hmm.
this was this Comic-Con, I think, was really to push out, hey guys, we got a release date now. You know, that's huge. That release date was what everybody was waiting for. Like, that tells you, okay, it is, we can see all the articles in the world, but where's the release date? Like, and when is this coming out? And
Right?
then them talking about it and the experience, it mattered. And I personally think this is just what I believe is happening is, it's going to be more marketing, like with trailers and TV spots and things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't bank on another Comic-Con appearance though.
Cool. And I'm sure once more people see the trailer, looking it up, they will find out
Oh
about the
gosh.
panel. And like we were
Yeah.
saying, you find out there's a history. So all of a sudden, those videos of the panel will start kicking up in views as people
Yep.
try and find out more and more
Yep.
about the film.
Yeah. When that trailer comes out, I think it's one of those that will be shared a ton. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be shared a ton. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of people who didn't even know this movie existed until all this happened. And now a lot of people want to see it, because of everything that happened. It kind of made people want to see it more. Like, oh wait, I mean, they unshelved it. Okay, okay, what is the deal with this film? I want to see this. So it's
Right?
been a crazy journey though. Like,
Yeah.
I I mean, I gotta admit, there was a time like I was still fighting, fighting, fighting. I'd say my gosh, I think I posted something every other day, sometimes like every day. It was just, I'm sure, I mean, I know you did. Like so many people posted so much about this, and we'd get little teases of, oh wait, is it not shelved? Is it? I don't, what's happening here? And there was a time where I actually talked to an editor on the film, and I was getting a lot of information, and I was kind of giving that information out in a way, in a safe way, not like spoiling anything, not giving out, too much, but to
Hmm.
give people hope that this film was still going to be released. And there was a time though I was like, oh man, it's not looking good. I don't know if this is gonna happen, but I was like, nope, I'm going to keep on until I officially see something that says, no, this is not happening. Stop asking about it. I'm going to keep asking about it. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad all of the people watching, I'm glad you did too.
Yeah. As they say, no news is good news. And
Yeah.
in this case, It was excellent news. And in a very strange way, it kind of mirrors a lot of what we see in the Looney Tunes cartoons. It's this underdog movie that had to keep fighting and keep fighting, kept getting hit with anvil, anvil,
Anvil,
anvil,
yes.
fall off a cliff, fake tunnel,
Yeah.
all the things. And
Yep.
then finally, we're coming out soon. If that
Yes.
tunnel's not fake, also.
Yeah, exactly. And then what was it? Was it almost 2 years? I'm trying to think how long we've been fighting for this film. It was supposed to come out in 2023, July 21st. And then, oh my gosh, yeah, we've been doing this for a while, but that tells you something, you know, like
Yeah, it
fighting
tells
for a
you how
movie
much
for
this.
almost 2 years that's crazy.
Yeah, and how much it sticks out in the memories of the people who worked on it. Obviously, the animators who worked on it for a really long time
Oh
because
gosh.
animation takes time.
Hmm.
But the live action actors who worked on it, you worked on it for 14 days and you still remember it. So it
Yeah.
just shows how great of an experience it was. And I'm sure it'll be a great experience for those of us going to see it when it comes out.
Yes,
I'm very excited. You talked about being a fan of the Looney Tunes, and I almost forgot to ask you, do you have a favorite Looney Tunes character?
I do. And this one may or may not be in a scene that I'm in also.
Go
Or do you want to know who it is or?
ahead.
It is actually, I don't even think it's
Oh, Taz.
yeah.
Yes.
Taz.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Taz, just a little yeah, Taz.
Yes.
Taz is my favorite. Always, you know, the whole yeah, yeah, always cracked me up when I was a
Yes.
kid now, and then I was like so pumped to learn about certain cameos in the film. Yeah.
Oh, that is fantastic. That's so cool. That's such a fun thing to ask too, because there are so many Looney Tunes. What is somebody's favorite? Everybody in my family has a different one or two that they
Hmm.
love. My dad loves Taz and
Oh, for
Marvin. My
oh,
mom loves
Marvin, yes.
Tweety. My brother loves Bugs Bunny. I love Dappy. But now, of course, I gotta say I also love Wiley.
Yeah, no, yeah. I know it's funny,
Right.
like, Wiley, I still, I mean, I always love those characters, but,
Hmm.
you know, I do want to say one more thing too. I do want to shout out Dave, the director.
Yes, Dave
Um,
Green.
Dave Green, amazing director, and his passion for this film, his fight for this film is amazing. He's been fighting for the film also, and um, even working with him and watching him, because it's not the easiest thing to direct with cartoons and humans and things
There
like
are
that.
two sides you have to do,
Yeah.
and you have to make sure they blend.
Yeah, exactly. And the way he did it was really cool. And just his fight for the film also. Dave's an amazing human being. Eric Bauza, I got to talk to him a lot in person and man, his impressions or his not impressions, he does the actual voices are just
Mm.
freaking amazing. Like he's so talented. I mean, he's so talented as a voice actor. And at the Comic-Con, he did a Bugs Bunny impression with me. He talked like Bugs Bunny and Daffy and Tweety. He does all those voices. So it was really cool. But it's just, you know, once again, the cast, crew, definitely want to shout out New Mexico Film. Also, it said it was mostly shot in Albuquerque, which, if you guys don't know, Albuquerque is a big tie-in with Looney Tunes and a certain character. I'm sure you guys know.
Hmm.
Somebody says something about Albuquerque.
Yes,
Um,
there's always that, oh, I knew I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
yeah, yep. Yeah, so that's, big shout out to everybody here that completed the film and everybody that worked on the film. I'm just so happy that everybody's going to see your work. Like it really matters. And like I said, I don't even have a huge role in it. I mean, you definitely see me in this, but you see me for sure. But it wasn't even about me. It was about everybody. You know? everybody on that cast and crew, and all the Looney Tunes fans out there. I think you deserve to see it. So I'm super pumped that it's being released.
Ah, yes, for all that we saw on Twitter and for all that we saw on other social media, and what we heard from you, talking to people who worked with the stunts, talking to the
Mhm.
editors, the animators, for all that we saw, I am sure so much more was going on behind the scenes, people fighting for it, going to the screenings, the person who dressed up as Wile E. Coyote and walked around with a
Yeah.
sign. Awesome. So I can only imagine all the fight that went on behind the scenes to get it to
Yeah.
happen. Is there anything else that you would like to say, whether you want to pitch the movie or just something that you really want to say?
Yeah. Once again, I'm gonna reiterate this that guys, Coyote versus Acme, it's going to be a hit. I really feel that. I'm not just saying that because I worked on the film and fought for it, but I really believe it's going to be a hit. I think it's going to be one of those films that people are going to talk about when they see it, and people are going to understand like how important Looney Tunes still are. You know,
Hmm.
um, and my biggest thing once again is just go see it. You won't regret it. Like seriously, go see it. You like Looney Tunes. You like John Cena, Will Forte, Lana Condor's in it. A lot of people love
Yes,
Lana Condor.
Monica.
Um, the mix of all the different talent in this film, it
Yes.
it's
I know
worth
Martha
it's worth
Kelly
watching.
is also in it.
Yes, Martha Kelly. I believe Martha Kelly was at the Comic
Yes, she
Con.
was at the
Yeah, she
Comic-Con
was.
panel.
Yes, she was. Yep. Just so much talent, and it's it's a great movie. People are going to be excited to watch this and come out of the theater pretty happy, I'm sure. I guarantee people are going to talk about the cameos. Like, oh, that's so cool. Or when you're watching it and you see certain characters and like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's
Yes,
awesome.
all the articles of 31 cameos and references you may have missed
Yeah, yeah,
in
exactly.
Coyote versus Acme.
There's going to be a ton of those Easter eggs and stuff like that. Yep. Yeah,
Yes.
so seriously, guys, like, first of all, thank you. Thank you, everyone who reposted, who signed the petition, who talked about this film every single day. It matters. So thank you for that because I might have started a petition, but people have to sign it. You know what I
Right?
mean? I might have done some X post, but people have to repost it. I was
Hmm.
just the little guy, trying to help, and everybody out there made a difference. Like it wouldn't have happened without all of you, for real.
And let people know where they can find you. You mentioned TikTok. We've been talking about Twitter. Where can people find you?
Oh yeah, so I'm Laughter Medic on TikTok. So Laughter
The
Medic.
best
I was a
medicine.
medic. I was a medic in the army, and
Oh,
I made
wow.
I made people laugh. So Laughter Medic. I do funny stuff. I am an actor also. I'm giving a shout out to my agent, DME Talent Agency. So I'm an actor also, and you can find me laughtermedic.official on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, um, and X also. I think, wait, is my X? I think it's Steven Ray Byrd, but that's my
Yes.
actual name.
Yes.
Steven Ray Byrd, yeah. So yeah, give me a follow, and let's keep the fight going. Like let's keep promoting. That's my big thing.
That's great. Well, thank you so much,
Of
Stephen, for
course.
doing this. And thank you to all of you out there for watching or listening. If you're listening to it while you're doing something, hi, you missed all the cool arm gestures we did. You missed all the anvils falling.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine. Thank you so much, everybody. And if you're planning on seeing Coyote versus Acme next year, thanks in advance.
Yes. Yes. And maybe we can follow up after, or maybe we can talk again right before the
Yeah,
film.
well,
Yeah.
it's definitely in the realm of possibility. And thank you to 25YL for indulging me as I continue to cover this movie on its way to coming out. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank
and I
you.
will see you later.
Bye, everybody.